Hello guys, today I'm looking at Muramasa the Demon Blade on the Wii. This was definitely one of the better games on the Wii, and it's one of these beautiful games by Vanillaware, I believe. I absolutely love the style of the game. The characters, everything about it, it just feels super stylish, and it controls really well. And I believe this originally was a game for the DS, and they made a sequel or version of it for the Wii. And again, I really love this game. So very much entrenched in Japanese folklore. You play as two characters, Princess Momohime and a ninja called Kisuke. And so they're two different campaigns basically. And they kind of have their own blades, powers, levels, and etc., and their own stories. And so the story behind Momohime is that even though she is a princess, she is essentially become possessed by this samurai spirit and is allowing her to wield the demon blades. And her family was basically betrayed by the shogun, and so now she and the spirit are out for revenge. And it's really funny how the spirit shows up, at least in the hot bath scenes, as like this disgruntled, angry, green-looking face spirit ball. And so a lot of the, part of Japanese folklore, I guess it is that the way they usually do spirits or souls is they do it as these blue or green balls. And And Kisuke's deal is that he has amnesia, but he's part of a ninja clan, and so he was part of the conspiracy to destroy Momohime's family, and so he's regaining his memories as he fights. And so, that's kind of the main thing. The story isn't super important because, honestly, there's a bunch of very obviously complicated names here, and I don't really remember a lot. But the gameplay in this game really is amazing, and the style of it as well. And what's really interesting is that basically you can hold 3 blades at one time, and in doing so, you basically switch between them. And when you switch to a new blade, the game kind of pauses, and you choose, so you can choose which one to swap to. And when you switch to that new blade, if it's at full health, it would do a special all on-screen attack. And each blade, you basically grab multiple blades, and throughout the game, I think there are over 100 different blades to acquire. And each one has a different attack power, but each one also has a different kind of special effect by pressing the B button, I believe. So some of them cause tornadoes, some of them send out spirit balls, some of them do like a dash attack, some of them do like a flurry attack, some of them do like a bomb attack. There's a whole bunch of different things. And some of them, the final weapons or the final blades you get are basically the top 3 best ones that I just ended up using over and over again to fight waves and waves of enemies, and they were just super ridiculously powerful. And by the end of the game, you're just swiping the floor with a lot of these guys. Again, the style of Muramasa the Demon Blade and the style of Vanillaware itself is very specific to their company. No one else has done a game that looks like essentially moving watercolors, or moving painting rather. The style and stylistic look is very iconic and almost, like I would say, prototyped or tied to this game series. Or to this company rather, and they're known for Odin Sphere, and so it's the same kind of style. So it's a 2D action adventure game. There are definitely collectibles and hidden things in the environment to find. There's definitely a lot of collectibles, things like smoke bombs and other items to help you fight. Another big aspect of this game is also cooking. There's lots of different Japanese dishes you can make, and you're going to need supplies for that. And so they have these beautiful, again, kind of cel-shaded painting, old Japanese style, but in movement kind of aesthetic to it. And again, this is probably the most Japanese game I've ever played. In terms of just going deep into the folklore, into the style, it not only does it look like a Japanese painting, it has the stories and the folklore around it as well. And so basically the game works that you basically go side to side throughout the environment, throughout the countryside, and fight other also interesting, styled enemies. Usually with bosses, it'll be obvious that they're, a part of them are in the front, the foreground part of their bodies in the front, which you can actually damage. But sometimes they'll have the giant, huge, version of themselves in the background, which is the part that that their character represents. And so similar to like a classic 2D Sonic, where like Eggman will have part of his hand or something in the foreground, that's the actual thing you attack. It's kind of the same deal here. And so if you use up all of the so each weapon also comes with, again, a magic meter, so you can't just spam the same attack, and it also encourages you to switch blades, obviously. And so obviously when that meter runs out, the blade will shatter, and then it needs a cooldown effect of like a few minutes. And so it does encourage you to like basically swap weapons and not just reuse the same thing over and over again. And as you kill enemies, you do get different soul power to power up your blade, and that does your special technique, but that's not the most reliable way to do it. The most reliable way is to really swap between different blades, because again, every time you swap, you do get an on-screen a free on-screen attack, and so it's to your benefit to try to use as many blades as possible and as many combos as possible. This also is a very aerial game, so you use a lot of aerial attacks, down attacks. It feels really, really good to play this game. It's a really fun action game. Again, the style of the game just looks really good even today. I love Momohime's character, and just the design of her actual dress is just really, really cool. And Kisuke also has a pretty great design. There are times in this game, like I said, you're going to do cooking, you're going to go to the bathhouse, or the character will change and go into a towel into the hot spring. There are times where you can go into villages and you talk to the shopkeepers, buy your items, all that classic RPG kind of stuff. But really what sets Muramasa apart is its art design and its combat. Again, the story is kind of like a generic revenge story, but again, in the background of Japanese mythology, which is really cool. Also, after every battle, you will get a bunch of EXP and a bunch of Mon or money, and from that you can obviously use that at different towns. And the level up system is kind of like a constant thing. Like you're all constantly being level up, throwing items and abilities that your way, and increased health stats and stuff. Also, the game is totally voiced in Japanese, kind of unsurprisingly, and there's a whole different array of abilities you also unlock every time you level up. And again, the main thing that gives you the advantage, though, are the blades you can get. And throughout the world, of course, there are different challenges you can take on to take on a wave of enemies or beat an enemy in a time limit, and you can get a blade or an award that way. And so the basic concept of the game is that the demon blades are these blades that, as you use them, they will essentially drain your soul or your blood or your power. And so for some characters, they want to use the demon blades power, and for other characters, they want to purify the demon blades and run the evil energy out of the blade itself. Again, the art style, the character design really makes this game stand out. It's an incredibly fun game, incredibly good looking game. And again, just the different kind of folklore and adaptations and action looks really good. I'm always so interested to see the next enemy and just how they move. Different parts of their body will be kind of disjointed from each other, and they'll just move in really weird, interesting ways, fighting tengus and stuff, and demons and, snow spirits. I love this game's mythology. It's a lot of fun, and definitely like a sleeper hit on the Wii. If you own a Wii, you should absolutely own this game, because it's just really, really cool. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this game. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.